Hey guys, how are you? I see all you in here. I appreciate you. Do I have a 5x5 if you let me know? Because we were having issues earlier because the weather's been pretty bad last couple of days. Miss Sharon's in charge. Listen to her. Live. Don't do top chat. Live chat, all chat. Thanks for the 5x5s. And if you have anything for me, scream at me in there so I'll see it, or else I'll scan. I try to go through here quick. I don't want to miss anything. But I hope everyone's doing well. Let's see who's in here. Simply Tony, I saw you first. The prepping artist. Hey, Matt, Teresa, Steve, how are you? Kevin, how are you? If I missed you, I'm sorry. Katrinka, good to see you. Hey, Dee, how are you? Dusty, good to see you. TT1. TT1's always brings the laughter and the happy and the joy, I think. Appreciate you. Mary, how are you? Hey, We Are Resistance. Good to see you, Joey. I'm going to talk on a couple. I see a couple of you. Hey, Coffee First. Good live earlier. I caught what I could. We were out running errands, and I was trying to hurry up and get back and do things before I came on. That's just how it goes sometimes. But I was listening. I was on my phone, which primarily is how I start doing is I listen on my phones to a lot of creators because I'm always on the go and I can't always get in chat, but I do see you guys. Hey, Steve. Like, again, there's Miss Sharon. She's in charge. Hey, Michigan. I think if I've missed anyone, it's random. Hey, girl. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Colleen. I see all you people. And hey, Charmaine. How are you? Laura. Hopefully, I know about the apple cider vinegar things. There's always hiccups along the way. We learn as we go. I've had things I've messed up. And then I learn, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then there's certain things I've been doing majority of my life, and sometimes I'll make something and it just doesn't come out. Hey, Sandra. I see all of you in here. Saffron, Jersey Girl, Satan Hunter. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Again, if I missed you, I'm sorry. But anyways, let's talk about, Sundays. I got all kinds of things going on, and I've been looking at anything y'all want, throw it down there. I appreciate all you guys. Always. I appreciate you. I haven't been on here much on my Sunday chats. I think I missed 2. Was it like 2 weeks? I had gotten hurt. I had gotten an injury. We're doing renovations, hanging drywall, doing putty, painting, moving furniture. And that's what happened. So I took some time off. I'd gotten hurt. Hey, Tiger, how are you? Hey, KP. Good to see you, all my YouTube family in here. I appreciate you guys. So that's why I was out. And again, see, I think every time I come on, I'm in a different room, in a different corner somewhere. Yeah, the renovations. I just kind of keep packing and moving the desk, and that's just what it is. It's going to be like that for a while, but it is what it is. As long as I'm up here with you guys, I think that's what matters as much as I can. We're just super busy all the time, and we've been getting tons of rain. I shouldn't complain because I see some of y'all already getting all the snow and awful things like that. I don't have to deal with that. Although I do like snow, but I want it for like 2 months and then I want it to go away. If it's going to be cold, I want it to snow. Otherwise, in the 70s, it's good for me. So I did want to bring up, there are a lot YouTube stuff. There's a lot of new creators or even people who have been around for a while. They're starting channels, and Coffee First is, one, or there's even people who you guys have been subs, and I didn't know you had a channel. I'm so sorry. And if I'll hear or somebody will say something or I'll catch it and I'll think, I didn't know. And I think that's great. I'm always encouraging congratulations, prayers for those new journeys. And that's what we need. We need to support each other. Everyone has their little niche and part to play. And some people somebody may reach you better than what I would, or I would better than someone else would, or it's just kind of your niche, or you just kind of, your vibes kind of work together. Check people out. I kind of see things like this as like, especially when we have newcomers coming up, because I had creators take a chance on me. I did this month. It's in 2 years. I started this. Took a chance on me, and I appreciate that. And I kind of see that almost the same as like shopping local. We talk about shopping local, support your locals. If there's farmers market, mom and pop stores is what I call them. I see it the same way. And I just appreciate you guys. I pray for you. Try to share it out and get in there as much as I can to show you some love like y'all do me. Things are hectic. I keep thinking things are going to slow down, and then there's another project or something goes on, but that's life. So a couple things news-wise I want to cover. Then we can talk about whatever y'all want. That's usually how we do in here, right? And if I missed anything, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to ignore chat. But hey, Adriana, if I missed you, hey, how are you? I did, Saffron, I did see about the earthquakes. I think it was like a 7.5. I saw that one. I didn't see another one. I haven't been keeping up with that as much. I've seen a couple things, but again, I've been busy. I'm trying not to. Hey, Sandy. I try not to miss anything, but I don't know if a lot of y'all probably already saw the Pentagon announcement. There were some of our warships. I know the USS Carney are under attack. And those are the ones in the Red Sea, and some commercial vessels are under attack. And the Pentagon did put out a report about that and things. So that's going on. So to me, I'm like, we're at war, and they're just not going to tell us. And they're not going to tell us until there's no hiding it anymore. And there's a lot of us been saying before, like, oh, we've been at, WW3, we've been at it, it's been popping off. There's different levels of that, what people think and don't think. I don't know, but that did come out in a Pentagon announcement. So I'm kind of watching to see what's going to come of that, where it's going to go. But I felt like as soon as the ceasefire thing ended, it was 7 days. I just felt like things were going to pop off even more. It has to escalate. We talked about this season in the winter. All of it. I just think it's going to happen. Hey, Paradise Anchors. Hey, sweet girl. I'm so glad you're in here. Good to see Josh. Josh is here. I appreciate you. We were talking about this earlier. We were just talking about this. This right here. So that's going on. I don't know a lot of details of where it's going because, it's just, I heard some stuff trickle out last night, and then I heard more mid-morning today about that. I think they also heard that was some drone attacks with that. I don't know. We shall see. And how much they're actually going to tell us. I don't know. Hey, Sandy. I think I got Sandy, and Sandra. I think I have all three of you in here now. I have to keep you separate by your little images. But anyways, another thing that's going forward, we said this was going to happen. We've been talking about all these, meetings they've been doing for a while, and the COP28 meeting they just had. Did y'all see King Charles up there doing his little speech about that? Well, where he is at with everything. And of course it's about, the climate and the changes that they want to make and things they want to implement on that. But the U.S. did join, I think it's 54 or 56 other countries that are in this CC agenda, where they're going to phase out. I mean, there's a lot of things on there, but they did come forward, and the U.S. committed. They said they were going to phase out all coal power, coal plants, that type of fuel. They were going to get rid of all those type of plants, and they've committed to that. And they did there's a whole spill on the COP28. If you want to listen to that, there's a lot of places that is. We knew that was coming. Hey, Crystal. And if I miss anything, I'm sorry. I'm not even looking over here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I'll get over here and get squirrel. Well, let me see what you said, Michigan. Yeah. This is just a mess. Oh, exactly. It's just they're going to play their game. I've been saying this, and it almost, It's just irritating. I'm like, just say it because quit insulting me that I believe the nonsense that you're trying to spill out. But I think it's gonna. I just think it's gonna go. I think we're about at that boiling point and things gonna pop off. If I missed you anything, I'm sorry. See, I don't know how a lot of y'all deal with. I mean, I guess I know it's what you used to, but I see some of that cold up there, and I'm like, I just want know what to do. Hey, Montana Nana, good to see you. And anyone else, if I've missed you, I'm sorry. Um, could be. Could be. I think we're going to have all kinds of things, and I think that even for us who are closely, like we watch things and we've been training ourselves for so long and working with each other and learning, we can go through the smoke and mirrors, all the nonsense they throw in our face. It's going to be so much coming up. We're going to have some of it is going to be kind of like, I can't decipher which is what right now. I think that's going to happen. And, me, I'm big on praying for discernment and just to keep on watch. I mean, don't let it consume you, but what's going to happen is going to happen. That's why we would just prepare, and whatever comes our way, we have to be ready for that. The best we can, do our part, and just leave the rest to God. That's all we can do, because it'll drive you crazy. Oh, yeah. See, I don't know. We had tornado warnings yesterday, and I still was outside doing whatever. Hurricanes, tornadoes. I don't know any different. I mean, there's certain ways you think, okay, it's time to get. I don't mess around with lightning. My grandmother actually got struck by lightning when she was outside. It went in around her shoulder, neck area, and came out her thigh. She was actually on a mule, and it killed the mule because it was the way it was grounded. She was terrified of lightning. I don't mess with that, but hurricanes and tornadoes, I just don't. Now, earthquakes, those blizzards of mountain amount of snow y'all get, all that type of stuff kind of work. I don't know. I do love snow too, Katrinka. I just don't want to live in it for like months at a time, months and months and months. That's just me. Yep. And what happens? Everybody eats what we would call in the South. Oh, they're going to eat milk sandwiches. They run and they grab all the milk and all the bread. I don't get it. But yeah, milk sandwiches. That's what they call it in the South. They even talk about it. People lose their minds. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do for their little electric and smart cars and stuff? Did you see what happens when they break down? They bring in all that. Hey, Deanna, how are you? Oh, you're painting. Painting, like painting walls, painting, or like pleasure painting, painting. I've been doing both. Hey, Pilgrim, good to see you. Oh, yeah. They've been doing that, haven't they? And it's becoming more and more. I kind of thought like things were becoming so obvious in so many areas. Like there's no way that people can ignore this at the point. There's no way that they are not going to know. They're not going to wake up. They're not going to be like this whole time with, fingers in their ears, blinders on, and think, it seems to be opposite. Like people are more and more just like, what are you talking about? I really thought like there's no way people are not going to know at this point that have been, even for the last 2 or 3 years, that they just haven't wanted to see it. They're just kind of going, they're just living in La La Land. And I think, I feel like I see the opposite. I think that people are becoming more and more just oblivious and blinded and ignorant to it. I don't know. Me too. Whenever I see Pilgrim, whether it's in my mind or I type it out, that's Pilgrim's middle name. FJB. That's what comes with it. Oh, what's this, Sandy? Oh, wow. Things are getting crazy, folks. That's why I say, and I've talked before, I'm not a, lollygag, shop around, just browsing, window shopping. If we go out and stuff, it's not about living in fear. I'm always out and in the woods and different things like that. But if I don't lollygag around and shop around and I do what I have to do and get on because people are getting more and more crazy, which happens with the holidays anyways. But add in this day and age with that, it's just getting even worse. Me too. Me too. I'm not 20. Oh, yeah. Am I way behind? I don't know. Sorry if I am. Probably because y'all talking about the soggy bread. Yeah. Oh, oh my gosh, it rained so much yesterday. It rained so much yesterday. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, I've been doing a lot and I have a lot more of that to go. A lot more. It's going to be a while. We're renovating. We're doing it ourselves. So we have to do it in stages. And then I got hurt and it just kind of has, it's just, sometimes I think that's God's only way. He just had to go ahead and give me a severe injury to say, you're going to have to slow down because I'll go, go, go. And it kind of seemed like that what happened, but I'm not a sit down type of person. Yep. What do they think is going to happen? I mean, who are buying these vehicles? And even in small little towns, like small little, kind of country towns, I'm seeing those charging stations pop up. And I'm like, are you serious right now? What are y'all thinking? I mean, I guess it just, again, it keeps that la la land of people just thinking, this is going to work. This is going to save us. It's going to save the planet, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I think. It has to be a choice at this point. Something. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, tons. I think a lot more than in other aspects. That's something just Josh and I talk about all the time about being spiritually ready. And what's playing out is biblically going to come to pass, or something's going to change that. Yeah, all of that. All of it. Yep, all the sleep you want to have. That's right, Steve. I don't know if it's overload. I do know that I've tried to talk to people like, just please don't. I can't handle that. I just can't handle that. I don't want to. And it's not even heavy stuff. Just, just sprinkling little seeds and crumbs at them. And they're just like, I just cannot. I just think that some people they just can't handle anything like that. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way at all. They just like, I would just rather, I just can't handle it. If I don't think about it or we don't talk about it, then it's not real. And those are the ones I'm going to say, we will come to a point where my door will be shut and don't come up this way, because I've been trying to warn you and trying to help. A lot of people have. And I know that sounds harsh and ugly, but we'll come to a point where there will be more of a danger. I don't know what it is. I think it's a lot of things, I guess. But I just really thought by now a lot of people. I think I put a link up. I can't remember if it was just I'm on my Instagram. And again, if you send me things on Instagram, you can send me a note. It'll tell me I have a requested message and just let me know, hey, it's me from YouTube, because I have mine set on private because there's creeps everywhere. And I just don't do nonsense. But I do put different things on there because certain things, even links YouTube will block it, even if I try to put it in my community tab. But with that, did you see the things, the things that's going on in France and everything? It's like this big revolution. People have had enough. They're done with it. And I'm just I see these certain other countries. I'm like, shouldn't we have been first in line leading that, for an example? That we're tired of it over here. What are we doing? What are we doing over here? I don't get it. Not that I'm encouraging that, but the go along to get along, everyone, folding, yes, sir. Okay, we'll do that. Whatever they say, they're going to take care of us and just do what they say. No. I don't get it. Yeah, our charging. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen any in this area, and they're new. They weren't here not long ago. Um, yeah, I don't know. Where's the money? They got the money to do all that. That's so that type of stuff is weird to me. But they don't have money to do the list of other things that, like, hey, this should be top priorities. Wasting the money on everything else. But again, that's that creating that false reality around people to then push their agenda. Um, yeah. And if I missed anything, yeah, I couldn't live like that at all. And that is, and I don't let things consume me. There's things that will upset me and I don't like, and I kind of have to work through it, process it, or I pray on it, or it just cross the board because it is upsetting and it can inflict, anger and everything. And I'm big on just feel what you're going to feel, but don't let it consume you. But this complete denial of stuff is bizarre to me. I just can't even comprehend it. I just look at people like I just can't grasp it. Um, Let me see. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh yeah. And that's why we're a joke to everyone else. That's why things are popping up like that, because they're not scared of us, because we're viewed now as um, weak and a joke. And that's how it is. Um, oh, let's see what you have. Oh, hey, Rambo. It's the Prep and Harvest Rambo, right? Same Rambo? If not, I'm sorry. The warship's being attacked, though I thought, oh, yeah. I agree. They're gonna downplay it. This is the thing with them. You have to find it is they'll downplay certain things. That's like when this is serious, like things are going off, and then they'll shove other things in your face as the scare tactic, and that's that deciphering that back and forth and figuring things out that we constantly have to do. Which I have some other things that talk about that have to go with. The other side of that is the blowing things out of proportion, the fear, because again, they know how to work both sides to whatever maneuver, and it's like herding, you know, cattle to get them where they want us, bottom figures, where they want us to go is what they think. And sadly, it works for so many people in countries. Yes, they usually do. Where's Huckleberry? Yeah. Hey, LLCC, how are you? If I've missed anybody, I'm sorry. Yeah, see, there's a lot of different. I'm reading all your things. I keep an eye on that, folks. Keep just watch where things are going with all that. Because whoops. Hey, Yardbirds, how are you? You don't have to worry about it, but you got to be aware of the future. But see, I like to say, I'm like, okay, mistake. We do what we can. It is, but you do have to. But don't let life pass you by in the things you don't live in the now, because that is that thing. Is that whole thing of like so many people are always living in the past, or you're always living so far in the future that you missed everything right now. There's that balance. Absolutely, I get it. Tell them, Montana, pay y'all's rent. I do appreciate you guys and helping me fight the YouTube nonsense that constantly goes on. And there are a lot of people, creators, um, um, that are, I think, getting shadow banned because there's people I follow, creators that have been around for a long time that I noticed are not even, and I'll still be following them, but they're not coming up like they used to. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going. I think they do that, anyways. Let's see. My stuff is messing up. If I missed something, I'm sorry. I throw it back down. My streamer was starting to jump around. So I've lost my place. Hey, Double Dog. Let's see what you got to say. Oh, of course. Always. Hey, Daryl, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see. If I've missed anything, I'm sorry. It is. Gosh, I must be really far behind. That's a typical Sunday for me, right? Sorry, Miss Sharon. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. Look, see, I must have missed something. Y'all keeping me distracted for him? I see how it is. He's probably like, look, deliver between this hour and this hour. Okay. So she's occupied and don't even ring the bell. Absolutely. Gotta learn how to do that. I feel like I've missed something because I'm not keeping up. But anyways, I'm sorry. Again, throw it down to me. Just put it in caps. Holler at me. I'll get it. So there is all that, and I'm trying to get through here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Hook Prime. Yeah, y'all are funny. Do a whole live. I should just put a ongoing live camera out front so y'all can see that reality. So I did want to talk about, who knows where this will go for me. I've brought up before on here. Maybe it was on my community thing. And I had given the warning because of how they said that about the white lung illness over in the Red Dragon. There was all that. Sorry, my hip back is starting to hurt, which is what my injury thing was. If I'm fidgeting so much. And then I said, they said, oh, it's in Ohio. We found it positive. It's in Ohio. And they did come out. Did you see the administration said, we got to cut off all travel to the Red Dragon. You can't do that because we got to watch this. We don't want things to happen like it did before. Yeah. Play the script. Okay. Whatever they're doing and the fear and whatever is going on. The channel would probably blow up. I don't know. But anyways, so they said there was in Ohio. I think I saw something about somewhere else. It was like Montana or something. But so now they came out and said the CDC. I feel so safe now because the CDC is tracking this for us. I'm so grateful for them. But it said now that there's 11 U.S. states reporting extremely high respiratory type illnesses. They said that it was Alabama, California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, New Mexico, Puerto Rico, Tennessee, and Texas that they reported. And then they said they had reports from New York City, which report differently than the state of New York. I'm sure because of the population and stuff. That they have these extremely high respiratory type illnesses. And they said we're seeing things that could be crossovers, lapping over or different things from that is the flu, the C19, RSV, respiratory. Some of it's just, they're not really sure. Anything in between. Okay. Because during those other couple years, there was no flu. Well, maybe what they did then, they should do now since we're seeing things again. Anyways, repeat script, election year. We know where this is going. But then Virginia and DC said that they didn't have any, they haven't seen any of that. Of course they're not. So, look at the states that they listed what they're saying. You remember they're setting stage on so many fronts where there's the illness type things, a lot of different things are setting the stage. And because they're just going to do this repeat. I've been saying it, for a long time. I do not feel I have my opinions about voting and stuff and what they're doing, but they're going to have to do something like they did before, so that doesn't transpire that everybody's going in person and feels like they're punching their, their ballots and all that type of stuff. So we knew this was going to come this year. We've been saying it for a long time. And is it getting closer? Yes, exactly. Same song and dance. I say it all the time. Now, does that mean there's not illnesses? Do they not get in there? I've been saying it for so long here, Rumble, everything else, when I was on LTF, that, do they get in there and play mad scientist and do stuff and alter and mutate stuff? Absolutely they do. And then they use that for their evil, plans to do stuff. And it's just collateral damage. They don't care. It gets the numbers down that they want. You know what numbers I'm talking about? And they do those things. But then they also don't let opportunity go. Here we are. I mean, okay, so we're going into what they deem flu season. Right before going into that, like early fall, I'd come out and I said, you remember, hey, they're pulling all these different over-the-counter meds and said, we can't use this. Oh, they've been on the market 50 years, 25 years, whatever. We can't, no, they're not safe anymore. We're pulling them off. I said, just in time before the season comes. And the ones that they pulled, and now look what they're pushing and saying and things that they're seeing and what's going on. And it's just it's so calculated out. And then things that could be naturally occurring, they're going to jump on that and put their twist on it and push it the way that they want. It's just, they just do that. So be smart. I say, go back, watch my things, get up with me, be calm. Don't let the fear take over. Support your immune system. Have things on hand. If you have over the counter, if you can stock up prescriptions, your natural side of things, whatever works for you, that's what is important. That whatever works for you in your body and you're comfortable with, that's what I want you to do. Not what I do or anyone else does. I want you to have that on hand. So you in preventive care, and that is a no over here. We cannot talk about that. Gosh forbid we, prevent something from happening and take care of our bodies like it needs. Just do those things. I am seeing people wearing masks again. I am seeing that even more. Yeah. All that. It's the agenda. Nothing, no politician, no man, no vote cast, no matter who they put in the seat or nothing is going to change what's coming, because this is global. The stuff we're seeing over in Israel, the stuff we're seeing in the Middle East, the stuff we're seeing here, Red Dragon, the bear, you name it. This is a global thing. Oh yeah, that's what I said about that. Yeah, they've been saying that. I talked about that early on. Yep. They're going to do that. They've been doing that. Same thing when the illness was going out real hard. I was doing things nonstop. I said, they're pulling these certain things, and they were supplements that work fantastic for those type of things. I've talked about it a lot. They started pulling them. They were pulling them, and they were getting after people. And I would tell about, the FDA and stuff like that. They would send out these no warning, these fear, letters, and saying, don't sell this. You're not allowed to have this. You're not allowed to promote this, and you better pull this or else. And they do that. They were doing that before. So let's see what you got, Saffron. It's a non-top scoff. And see, the thing is, on testing. Okay. There's a lot of bronchitis stuff going around. Mullein, talk about this. And preventive care, mullein is going to be your go-to lung tonic. And there's lots of others. I've done lots of videos on it. Have mullein on hand. You can get it in teas. You can do it yourself. You can dry it. There's a lot of different things. And with respiratory season, mad scientist respiratory things going around, I just want y'all to have that on hand. And I hope you never need it and see how it works. Go ahead and have even just the teas. You can get it. You can get it in stores pre-made, or if you don't grow anything else like that, if you can't forage it, grow it yourself, whatever, you can buy it in bulk, dried already. I take care of and I have the stuff about, I just have a lot of different ones and then whatever works for you. You may say, oh my gosh, just one over the counter, it does the miracle for me. I don't know. Again, do what's best for you, but be careful of taking things to just suppress symptoms. Symptoms are your body trying to detox whatever you have pathogen you've gotten. It is trying to get rid of it. So if we suppress just symptoms, that's why a lot of people get a secondary infection from something that was just viral. Um, again, do what's best for you, but just be careful about suppressing symptoms. Yes, symptoms like a fever, they make us feel awful, but your body, that's your immune system, is saying, hey, this is a foreign invader. We don't like this, and we're getting this out of here. We're going to turn on your immune system, white blood cells. We're gonna create a bunch of mucus. We're going to cough because your lungs are like, I don't want this in here. Or all the mucus from you're become congested and snotty and all that. You want it to come out. Support your body so your body knows what to do. That's my 2 cents. Y'all have a good day. I do worry because I think that they've been pulling and dumbing down people's immune systems for so long with things they've been doing. I just want everybody to be all right. Oh, yeah. You remember when that stuff was going on and they were saying it was like small dogs, or it was like larger breed dogs, and then they were saying cats were carrying it, and like especially across the pond, they were euthanizing different things. I was like, and then they went through a whole thing. They said, men with beards, and they were saying you have to shave your face. Anyways, again, that was just to seeing how people would comply. Have a good day, Coffee, and I may be real far behind. I appreciate you. Good job on your live earlier. Go check out her channel. She just started doing stuff. Everybody's seen her around for a long time. Go check her out. I'm trying to make sure. Oh, yeah. Yes, Huck and I were talking about this. I said, oh, yeah, okay. You got to have the travel bans and stuff like that. And, but don't travel, but y'all ship them down south and bring them in that way. Are we gonna fix that crisis? And I mean absolute crisis situation that is. It's ridiculous. He's always like that. It's less like that. Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. It's all a game. They got playbooks. Tell them, Pilgrim. Get them, Pilgrim. I do appreciate you guys. It does. I forget to ask about the YouTube stuff. What is it like, share? I don't know. It helps the nonsense. I do have a lot of people tell me, they're like, I follow you. It says I'm up there, but you never show up in my feed anymore. And that happens. And I've been seeing that with people. I don't know. I homeschool my kids. That the damage that does is horrific. Yeah, that's the number one go-to. Everyone should have that on hand. I always keep that. That's your power punch. It'll get stuff. Oh, that's great. If you can get it, and you absolutely know, and I talk about all the time about foraging and different, natural herbal things, is if you're not 100%, leave it alone. But usually once you know that, the only one that people usually kind of mix that one up is lamb's ear. But then once you know the difference, you're not going to mix it up anymore. But yeah, if you can have it, and if you ever find things or seeds, or you have it and you can, propagate it or get seeds and move it over, just plant it in an area of your yard. And then like, I know what this is. I put it here, and I can just keep on having it and going on. Do that type of stuff. Yeah, everybody needs to stock up on oregano oil. Stock up on it. Get oregano herbs so you can make it yourself. Whatever. Oregano is a power punch, natural antibiotic, viral, bacterial, fungal. The list goes on. It's strong. I have used that from some very serious infections, and it does great. We order, and I've made some, but I do wild oregano. We get off Amazon. Huckleberry can tell you. He can put it down there, or get up with him and he'll tell you. And it is expensive. And I have my local, it's not a chain store. You can get them both places also. Like vitamin type shop, supplements, health food store type things. I get them from there. You just want it to be pure with not a bunch of additives in it. Nothing like synthetic, things like that. You want to make sure it's um, a pure oregano. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and those things, the things that are already dried like that, if you store them correctly, they'll last forever. If you don't get moisture and stuff in there, it'll last. Yeah, it'll help. It's your lung tonic. You can do both. Oil of oregano is extremely concentrated, and it is so hot. And like the little medicine caps that come on like kids liquid Motrin or certain cold things. It's just like a little medicine cap. I use that. It's just that's a little bit under an ounce. I just take and put like tea or juice or something in that. And if I oil of oregano and it's that concentrated, it takes, and if you've never had it before, do one drop, not a dropper full, a drop. And it is hot. And that's why you need to dilute it to get in something. And the way it helps get down into your stomach better is, and I just put it in a tiny bit, not a large cup of something, just a tiny bit of fluid. I've done it even in water. And get that down. If you're doing oregano herbs, you can use a lot more. Again, that's up to you. I mean, I've taken like fresh oregano out of our garden and brought it in, chopped it up a little bit so the oils come out and just do that in a steep. I've done that, just to get that in. Or if you're cooking in something, if say we have something going on and then you make a broth or a soup or anything, put that in there as well. It's all the same thing. Same thing. Garlic, include garlic, real garlic all the time, as much as you can include that in your diet. Onions, especially purple onions, especially for respiratory things, is those, they call it red onions, but they're purple. Those are really, really good for respiratory things. People with asthma, different things. I use the red onion to make my sugar and onion cough syrup. I've got a video on that, and that works well. Eating red onions regularly is a good preventive and treatment for respiratory things, asthma, things like that. Again, incorporate those things in your diet, especially as we're going, here we are in this season, it's December, and this stuff going around, your stuff like your oregano, your turmeric, your garlic, your onions, because they're warming also, incorporate that in your diet. Teas, soups, stews, however you put it on your salads. Whatever you got to do is get those things in, and those are good preventive cares from things taking hold for you as well. Sorry, I kind of went on a soapbox about your oregano. Sorry, Paradise. Yeah, I do all my stuff TT1 organic as much as I can, unless there's like I am forced into a situation and I don't have it and I absolutely need it right now. Yeah, because you don't want to incorporate GMO type and other pesticides and chemicals and stuff like that into your body, because your body's going to say, oh, okay, I don't like this. I'm going to fight this. So spend more energy doing that than doing what it needs to, whatever you're trying to treat. Well, I'm so glad. Congratulations. I am so glad you've come over that licking doorknobs. Good for you. I see my just send me a message. A lot of people would do that choking type stuff. Yeah, you can send me a message. I'll do your protocol. They do have capsules. I particularly, again, do what's best for you. I particularly don't. If it's something that you're really an acute situation, I always recommend drops. It's going to absorb. Your body's not going to have to break it down, and you're going to get it a lot easier. That's my opinion. And you're not getting any additives. Again, that's my opinion. Natural. Send me an email. People ask me about books all the time. There are different like herbal type things, and again, I have a lot of family notebooks from so long back and training. I don't have any one particularly, but I have. If you go through my list of videos, and I have put in there about books, and I show them look through that one first and see if that is helpful. If it is not, um, email me and I'll see if I can, help direct you somewhere that can help you out. I don't have one particular that hey Thistle Moon. Again, the notifications. I know a lot of people don't get the notifications. I don't, even though I have my bell on most of the time I don't. Probably you're not shaving your beard. Y'all heard it here. If he shaved his beard, I wouldn't know who he was. Yeah, I do. I mean, I prefer the liquid. Hey, Sicilian girl, how are you? If I missed you earlier, or are you just now in here? I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. Yeah, I was about to say is that. And there's different breathing things you can do with that as well. Hey, McBean, good to see you. No, Donnie, I know, not shaving the beards. Let me see. Oh, you did. Oh, yeah, the comfrey. Yeah, that works well. Who was it in here that was talking about a broken ankle or foot or something in the comfrey? Maybe it's in my last live or something I did. Make sure it's set where it needs to be before you do something like that. Because that can cause an issue if not. Oh, it's expensive. And the bottles are tiny. It is expensive. Grow your own. I always say grow your own. And I have several pots. I have Greek oregano, regular oregano. They're really strong. Have the bottles, but have your herbs yourself going. And sometimes local places they'll do sales, or even online they'll do sales. It is expensive, but it lasts a long time because it's so concentrated. You use you use such a tiny amount, but it's one that I don't like to run out of. Oh, Lord help me. TT1, is this your fault? Are you the main encourager of this situation? Yeah, I'm gonna text you later. I see. Hey, the I am of me. Oh, that's okay. If you're going back to the beginning, I understand. I have to do that replay gang. I send the replay gang myself very often. Hey, Marvin, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Native. Good to see you. I appreciate you. And if I've missed anybody, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Huckleberry could tell you. And he probably give you the order number and everything right now. Which, I mean, I do give him a hard time. But there are times I'm like, hey, you need to put an order. This is low. Just our regular, certain things. That Amazon Prime. Yeah, it does work well. I think Native. Is a Native still in here? I see him way behind. I'll be catching up on chat when this is over. I think he had a call for a while, and he used that. Yeah, the Mullen stuff, that's going to be your go-to. It works very well. Even inhaling that, put it into anything. Hey, Pat, that's okay. And nobody's getting notifications. And mine usually don't. I am. Yeah. Yeah, and if you have questions, Pat, you can always email me. Fire cider. Y'all have talked about that. It was one of my very first videos. That, if you haven't already started one, get one going. And if there's certain things you can't have, like I can't have ginger. I can't have ginger. I leave the ginger out of mine. And ginger has wonderful benefits. I just can't tolerate ginger. But get those things going. Just go ahead. Just get those things going. And another huge one that works so well, so simple, tastes good. You can use it in many different things. Is the, do your garlic and fermented in honey. And I have a video on that too. One of my earlier ones, I believe, works very well. All those type of things. Get that stuff going. Yeah, this is that's the one. Um, I think I'm way behind. I'm sorry. Yep, absolutely. I that's just someone that garlic, anything like that. You just there's a lot of different herbs. I'm like that about thyme and everything. You just plant it, plant it, plant it. Worst case, you just dry it. You just dry it, and it'll last a long time. Hey, Sunset Gazing, how are you? Good to see you. Again, I'm thinking I'm behind. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of with the rain that will come. Dear Lord, guys, I gotta go. It's gonna get out of hand. Let's see. Oh, it was you with the okay. I thought it was. I thought I had it down between you and two people. I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to say. How was that doing, by the way? Yeah, gosh, knows I'm behind. I hear you, Pilgrim. All kinds of benefits. It would take the place of a lot of prescription things. I'm just saying that don't have the same side effects. I can't say he doesn't ever meaninglessly shop. It does always have to do with things we need or prep stuff. Um, let's see. Good Lord. Jeremy, you're so funny. Okay, I thought you did work. I mean, that we use that, it works. And it doesn't taste as like when I tell people, like, there's absolutely no way. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's not what you think it's going to be. And it does work. It works well. Hey, Jim Shady, how are you? Oh, I appreciate you in between work. I know a lot of people, their schedules are different. You know, they have to jump in when they can. I appreciate it. I know. That's how I am. I go all the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to hurry. I need to do this. And then I kind of get that squirrel thing like, okay, just I need to, here's my list. I need to go through and do it. Cause sometimes time gets away. Sometimes I'm like, there's not enough hours in the day. I got to get a bunch of stuff. And that's just what it is. Especially with everything else we have been going on, and it just happens that way. Um, Prioritize. I'm big about lists. I tell them all the time. And a good thing in the winter, especially you have really bad weather and you're kind of stuck inside. And I'm not a stuck inside person. I get stir crazy really easy. I'm an outdoors person. That's a good time. Go through your preps, see where you're missing anything, any holes or anything like that. Organize it, do rotations. Hey, make your list of your priorities, what you need, things like that. And even things like, if I see really good deals, or even like that clearance aisle at Walmart, and they'll put like different over-the-counter medicines sometimes, and it may be stuff that we don't use. We just don't tend to use the things, but they're good. Either I can help somebody else with it in time, or barter items, and just if you can grab those things cheap, don't forget those type of things also, because somebody, even if it's something you don't use, somebody else may need it, in your community, in your little tribe or whatever, or bartering things, looking at things like that, because I think this year is going to be kind of crazy. I'd be, yeah, I do though. And then I'm all behind on the conversation. I try though. Oh, you got a boot on, a walking boot. Okay. Well, that's not as bad as some thing I've seen, but prayers for that recovery. This is Huckleberry Plain Santa. Santa Amazon. Oh, that's good, Miss Sharon. I'm telling you, that preventive care stuff. Now I'm glad you weren't sick. That stuff's ridiculous. And that respiratory stuff, when that thing lingers, it will zap you. it will just drain your energy and strength right out. But I'm glad. Oh, I'm caught up. Look at that. Yep. Just eat it. Put it in. If people are like, oh, I don't want to eat it. I'm like, it doesn't taste bad. When it breaks it down like that, it doesn't taste bad. It's good. You get the double the benefit of the honey and the garlic, and it works well. Oh yeah, I just think 2024 is going to be just buckle up. So you let this go for several weeks. Now the first bit, like the first 7-10 days, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, you have to open the lid of that, and it's called gassing it off, because that pressure builds in there, because it's that fermenting thing. But you got to keep the lid and stuff on it. And I open the first like week to 10 days. I open mine outside because it is incredibly strong early on. And as you see it going, and then it's not as bad, and it doesn't have that big air, because you'll hear it when you let it, when you open it. Is the honey will be really thick if it's a real honey. Use a real honey, and that's the big thing. People said, "Oh, I'm worried about botulism and different things." You don't want water in there, and you want to use a real honey, not these store-bought fake honeys, because it's not going to hold the same or have the benefits. The honey will get more watery. It'll get looser as it's fermenting as it goes on, and you do that for several weeks. You do it for 4 weeks. You do it for 6 weeks. You can keep on letting it go till you eat it, and it takes a while. But just like any fermenting thing, I have had some people say, only took 4 weeks, and then some do it 6 weeks. I've done it different things, because usually when I have one and it's finished, I go ahead and start another jar behind that. And I do like the jelly jar type size for mine. It's up to you how much you want to do it, as long as it's covered. And you shake it every day and you gas it off. It's not a measurement really. It's just that making sure it's good and covered. And also depending on the size and the amount you do, exactly how long. It's not this isn't done completely yet, but say give it a month at least. I would do at least that much. Yeah. I mean, garlic is just, you can't go wrong with that. Just garlic's easy to grow in the ground, and you can grow that in colder seasons. You can grow it in the grow bags and stuff like that. You can do all that. That's just one of those that people ask me, you have to grow, garlic. You want to do your oregano. You want to do different types of herbs. I'm about to do a video because this month will be 2 years. I've been in these YouTube streets. And I was compiling, I've been keeping track over the last 2 years, the top 10 questions I get asked the most. And so I was going to go over those and the answers to that. And some of it has to do with this type of things. I'm going to record that probably later this week. Make sure I'm not missing anything. If I miss something you had for me, I'm not trying to ignore you. Just give it to me. As long as it can be, I've used that. It can, as long you can be, the pop up, you kind of gas off those. As long as it, as long as you have a seal on it at that time, but you can use it. It doesn't have to be a twist kind. I've used both. And some people feel better. Some people feel better. Say after it's done for a minute, can I put it in the fridge? It makes me nervous. I don't want to leave it on the counter. Whatever you're comfortable doing, it'll be shelf stable. But you do what you're more comfortable with, but it'll last a long time. If it's real honey, not sugar, fake honey, like how they do syrups and stuff, that's shelf stable. There's things that they said, oh, this honey, it was been here for 5,000 years or something crazy, some tomb somewhere, and it's still good. If it's real, it will last. MD Creekmore's in the house. Yes, pine needle tea. You and I have talked about that a couple of times. And that is really good and a lot of people use that in the winter as well. If you have evergreens and pines around, it's easy to identify regular old pines, white pines and stuff. You can get it, again, like anything. If you don't, most people know what that is. If you don't, leave it alone. But yes, that is a really good one. I've talked about that before. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Rip. Good to see you. I'm still trying. I got to get back up with you, I swear. My list of to do. Or I'll think about something late at night and I'll think, oh, I need to do this. Have a good day, Pilgrim. I appreciate you. The ratio doesn't matter. Like I have a clove, like I do a clove of garlic. And sometimes I chop, like I just take the clove, you peel it, and sometimes I chop mine in half. You don't have to. You can do it as a whole little, each individual, clove piece, not the whole bulb. However much you do, as long as the honey completely covers it and then some. You don't want any of the garlic to be sticking out of the top. That's why you give it, good shake and stir and stuff like that. There really isn't a measurement. It's just like when you're doing like when I make my apple cider vinegar, you want to make sure that all the apple pieces are covered and then some. And that's how you gauge most of these things like this, any of these fermenting things, or even like tinctures. I'm like, say you did a bunch of herbs in a jar. Well, when you pour your 80 proof or higher alcohol over it, so you're doing alcohol tincture, you want it completely covered and then a little bit over it, because you don't want any of that to stick up. So everyone's measurement, however much you have in the size container jar that you're using, may be a little different. That's how you gauge that, because you just want there to be enough, because some things will expand and it'll soak up things. You may do something, you're like, 4 or 5 days later, a week later, you're like, oh, it kind of looks like it absorbed a lot of this, and you may need to add more, whether you're doing a tincture or, anything like that. You may have to gauge that and add more to it. And that's completely fine also. Let's see. Sorry, my phone was going off. It's one of my older kiddos. Had to make sure there wasn't anything going on. Oh, yes, the raw milk. If you can find that. They don't like that. Yeah, that doesn't, I think it's acquired taste. And what is I even have a shirt. I have a shirt that says it. Just stick some honey in it if you don't like the way it tastes. If it's good for you or if it's treating something, I don't care. I get it down. And I mean like that. Stick some honey in it. But it doesn't taste bad. And it is really good for respiratory stuff. And if you have colds or anything, it's a good pine needle tea. Something it's super easy. Yeah, and don't ever get stuff by roadsides if it's right up. If you live near a road, a lot of these type of things, evergreens, a lot of herbs and fruit, and mullein is a big one also. They filter their environment, the air around it, and it'll absorb those toxins. So you have to be careful where you get things from. Absolutely, Paradise. Yep. See, everybody. Buy MD's books. Throw the link down, MD. God, man, I appreciate you. All right, Jim Shady, you have a good rest of your work day there. I appreciate you. Let's see. I'm sorry if I've missed anything. I'm trying to get through here. Love your honey shirt. Thank you. Did you get a honey shirt? I have one too. I do like that one. And I just kind of said that because that's how I am about stuff. Get it down. It's better that than to be feeling bad and get worse off or sick, right? It is. Is it that time? It's that time. It's already been an hour. My chat. I do. I have a wonderful chat and community. I love you guys. Y'all are so sweet and supportive, for not myself, for each other, and that is what it's about. And I brag on you guys all the time, even when I'm not on here. I do. I talk to my I saw my people, Huckleberry, and I'm like, I just appreciate that because I just have a really good, positive, encouraging, helpful, respectful chat. Not just I'm talking about me, I'm talking about for each other. And goodness knows we need that so much and in our world, in our life. And I really appreciate it. And it's always like that in here. I can't thank you guys enough. Um awesome. That's great. Tulsi, which is also holy basil. You've heard me mention it both ways. It's fantastic. That's one Huckleberry has a lot. Wild lettuce, yep. Self heal, yeah, all that. That's awesome. Doing the things, absolutely. And I mean, when it comes to herbs and different things like that, even using them if you're doing, so you're making tinctures or you're doing it even with, you're making a infused oil or anything like that. Most of them you can go. A lot of them will call for dried, but if you grow a ton of different herbs and just keep harvesting it and drying it properly, however you have to do it. I have a dehydrator and stuff like that. If you put that back, you will have that for so long to keep going to. Big stockpiles of these dried herbs to use for all these different label things. Great, know how to use it. I don't care. Make you a 3-ring binder. Hey, this is my go-to. I have this element going on, such and such is something going on. What works best for this, and what to do. Just do those things. The more you have it on hand, you're not going to freak out when something happens. Oh, awesome! That stuff works now. And I'll tell you, it'll burn anything out of you. Are you talking about that? Are you making the fire cider, or are you making apple cider vinegar? Either one, it's good. It'll do good. Yeah, yeah. See, bragging on the chat, all of you guys. I appreciate everybody. That's that's. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. So I tell people, I'm like, some people are really sensitive to tinctures because they're so concentrated. So you may do better with like an infused oils. Now, infused oils do not last nearly as long as a tincture. So I always say to people, make batches of both so you have longer shelf life things just in case. Whatever, you know, whatever works for you in different things. Some people are like, hey, I just got to do it dried and put it in a tea because that's how everyone metabolizes things differently and how our bodies respond. Carefully and be safe and smart. That's what's most important. Kind of play around, say, oh, I did better when I had this in just a tea, or just adding this to my broth or soup if I say, or doing the tinctures or an infused oil, whatever the case. Find what works best for you and I always say have at least a long-term shelf, which is going to be your shelf life, which is going to be your tincture, and then your more immediate type things. Don't just throw it all into one thing because it may not last as long before you go through it, or it may not be the best suited for you. Yeah, just all those things. Random, whatever works. Oh yeah, goldenrod. Mine died through the I lost through the move was my goldenrod and my lamb's ear, which you about can't kill that. I don't know what happened, but those two things got really stressed, and I lost both of those when we moved. Let me see. Your internet keeps going out. Oh, okay, Dusty. Yeah, mine was because the weather was bad earlier. That's why I was kind of worried if I was okay. Had hail. Y'all be safe. Yeah, it's kind of more okay. I'm sorry, I'm reading like y'all know what I'm over here reading. I'm not saying this exact same thing. I'm saying what we're seeing over in the red dragon, the white lung, is more like if you see some, because they're not having the symptoms that people have with pneumonia, like, oh my gosh, they're so sick and they're coughing and they got this congestion. It's an inflammation and their body's worn down and they get fevers, they get sick, and it's the lung inflammation. the best thing I say is it mimics something like if you've ever had yourself or known somebody who has walking pneumonia, that's how it is, because I don't think people are realizing they're not having that outright obvious pneumonia symptoms that's going on. So yeah. Hey, Black Cat. Good to see you. I missed you earlier, or were you just coming in here? I don't know. Uh-oh, Tony, you're going to get my put some honey in it and get over it. It is good for you. You have to dilute it. You cannot ever, nobody should ever take full concentrated strength of apple cider vinegar. It will eat the mucus lining off of your stomach and you will get a ulcer. It has to be diluted. It's just a small amount. A teaspoon to a tablespoon in a glass of water. Or it'll eat your stomach up. Things like the taste, it's like, that's too strong or it tastes bad. I just get, things down. A lot of things you'll get used to. You kind of just get accustomed to that taste of it. Certain things, especially if it works. See? Put some honey in it. I got a shirt for you on that one, Tony. So exactly about that. That's how it came up. I don't remember what it was about. Miss Sharon, do you? It's a long time ago. Like a year ago or something, wasn't it? It was in a live, and I said that. And I don't remember what it was about, but I say that often. Yeah, I do cucumbers. I do cucumbers and onions in vinegar and let it ferment for a couple of days, a day or two. So good. Oh, here we go. Put some honey in it. Put some honey in it and get down. And put it in some more water. What do you need in it for? That's what the thing is. Apple cider vinegar. Put some honey in it. Sweeten it up. But if it's something particular, you know me. Yeah, you cannot take it to concentrate. People are like, I just want to get it down. I'm like, okay. You didn't hear from me to do it that way, because it'll cause very serious health problems. Yeah. I should throw it up. It is. It just says put some honey in it and get over it. But the honey it'll break it up. You got to dilute it. Coffee cup size of water, warm water. Some lemon in there, cinnamon, something like that. Get it down. I call them hot toddies. I tell y'all this, they're not hot toddies. That's just what my family calls them. It has no alcohol in it. And they work well. It's okay, Laura. It's okay. I have failed miserably with different things on and off. We all have. That's the learning process. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. And my biggest thing when something like that happens, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasted all this that went into it, because I hate that. I hate waste. And, but please don't give up. Give yourself grace. And you may not figure it out, and you may figure out like, oh, this is what I did a little different, or I didn't. But don't give up. And that does happen. Yeah, I use, I've talked about this before, organic blackstrap molasses and thickest tar. That's how it is. That is one of the best things for a very high amount of concentrated, if you are low. And I have a certain type of anemia for iron. Women during their cycles or after birth, and they, have, that heavy bleeding and stuff, blackstrap molasses, a tablespoon of it every day. Like every day a woman is on her cycle or something like that's happened. Blackstrap molasses, I keep that. Now that one was a little like, it took me a little bit. I was like, oh my, this is, because you just take it straight. It has to be organic. It is very high in iron, and it works very well. And that is something that I always do as a woman. I take blackstrap molasses, a tablespoon of it. Yeah, see, you acquire a taste for it. And if you don't have it and you're used to getting it, you'll almost crave it, because your body knows. Once you get things in balance, your body knows. The apple cider vinegar, depends if you've never had it. Like, you could start out with a teaspoon in a glass of water. It can be like a coffee cup size or a glass of water, and up to a tablespoon. That's about how in a glass of water. That's about how I do it. Like on mine, I buy it by the gallon, and it has like the round little the cap on top of it. A lot of times I fill up the cap and dump it in my cup. It's not exact, just really it's diluted a good amount. I mean, if it's so strong that I mean, like TT wants in here, and I think he's sensitive to it, so it'd probably still be too harsh for him. But you don't want it burning like when it's going down. But it'll balance all kinds of stuff. People who have, most people, if you've ever had a stomach ulcer or have stomach ulcers, you have H. pylori. Do your apple cider vinegar, and that will heal those things also. But again, it has to be diluted, or it can eat the mucus lining away, and then you cause yourself to have ulcers. There's always that that balance. Yeah, you'll get there. It's just part of the learning process and doing. That's what's important is you're doing. And that's why I say do the things now instead of when you're forced to and end up, this is a bad situation. The world's worse than it is and we can't, do it now. And then still sometimes you could be making something, made 100 batches of something. Sometimes it just, that'll happen. It'll just happen. Mm-hmm. Yep. Me too. A fourth of a cup. A fourth of a cup? Oh, to take a tablespoon. Is that what you're saying? I thought you meant a fourth of a cup of apple cider vinegar. My gosh, you want me to stroke out over here. Maybe, are you not diluting it? Maybe you can't handle fermented stuff. Some people who have high candida, or if they've ever had SIBO, they can't have fermented stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't have the side effects, no, unless you were some reason allergic to molasses, but you'd be allergic to sugar if you did that. I don't do iron. I do not do iron pills. But I have pernicious anemia. I was born with pernicious anemia. It's a different type, and I have to have sublingual B12, and I do molasses. And then, as a female, and even my other girls and different things that don't have the type of anemia I have, you do the blackstrap molasses, organic blackstrap molasses. They could start out with a teaspoon up to a tablespoon, but I've never heard any side effects. Now, iron pills can make people very sick, and I could never do like an iron pill. They would make me extremely sick. Or the iron drops, and they can stain your teeth and everything. No. Blackstrap molasses, yes, it does help. Blackstrap molasses and mulberries are two of the, they're extremely high naturally in iron. That's another thing. A lot of Native American natural people who do everything, they do the blackstrap molasses, and women will eat mulberries. Got to be purple. Don't eat red mulberries. Mulberries when they're on their cycle, or after giving birth or something like that, or any other thing that would cause, a blood loss, or if you're struggling with anemia, you should do those things. It'll work. I did on my end, but I thought it was StreamYard. Maybe I'm saying too much. Can't do that preventive care. God forbid. They know what's best. They know what's best, guys. I don't. Maybe that's what it is. I agree, Steve. I appreciate you guys. I'm about to get out of here. It's gone over today, but that's okay. I've missed you guys. And I will, if you have questions directly and I didn't answer them, get on to, just email me and I'll get back with you. But until then, I appreciate you. I love you guys. I'm always praying for you. Stay safe. Don't let life and the craziness of this world consume you. And, just keep doing your part. Do what you can, and then give the rest to God. So I'll leave you guys with that, and I'll see you guys next time. I appreciate you. Bye, guys.